Hello everyone, welcome back to another video where civilization starts over. We're on episode 24 now of the series, and in the last video we saw many things happen, such as the Indian Civil War and the Indian Coalition happen at the same time. But now let's get into the video. So the first thing we'll be seeing is some wars, and that war will be happening, or those wars will be happening over here in the North and South American continent. We'll see one special nation doing this war, and it will be this Brazilian nation, and of course they'll be invading this gold nation. Now there's a clear power, like it's clear who's stronger. This gold nation is just big and not that strong, while this Brazilian nation already has a lot of fighting experience. So we'll be seeing them focus very much on capital, taking it out in just a couple of seconds. But we'll see another nation get involved, and that will be this Venezuela nation. So we'll be seeing them invade from the north, claiming or taking this major city for themselves really quick, before also moving out over here and taking this major city. Down here we'll be seeing the Brazilians continue their push in, wiping out this northern Brazilian nation, as their army is no match against this Brazilian nation, as they just move around the coast, capturing one major city and closing in on a second. Meanwhile, up here we'll actually start to see an Brazilian northern Brazilian offensive happen, pushing these guys back and even reclaiming this major city. But they come back full force and take this major city and a lot more. And over here we see them just focus on the coastal areas and move around. We then see the South Brazilians capture this major city, marking the end of the war, as we see them surrender to the South Brazilians. And now let's take a look at a peace treaty that divides North Brazil between these two nations. And in this peace treaty we'll be seeing something like this. We'll see the now Brazilian nation take all of these lands, and this Venezuelan nation will take all of the remaining land. And yeah, this Brazilian nation has asserted itself as one of the main powers in the American continents. But now, moving not far away, we'll be just moving up north over to this big red nation, and we'll be seeing them invade into the Florida nation. Now, the reason for them doing this? Well, if we take a look at the religion layer here, you see this Lime religion. It's Florida's own religion, as they have tried to force people into it. It's not peaceful at all. So you basically see these guys up here. They won't stand back and watch, so they'll be doing a special operation into this nation, taking over two major cities really fast and trying to wipe them out off the map before they can do any more damage. Now you probably notice I can't record anymore. Yeah, I haven't recorded in a while, and yeah. So if this video is done poorly, then my bad. But this video will be pretty important, as many things will happen in it, or not many things, but probably many things and in big things. But anyways, let's continue this war. We'll be seeing this nation continue their push into Florida, capturing all of this land, before meeting a big wall that is just Florida troops lined up like this. So we see basically trench warfare happen here, something kind of like that. Up here we see this nation start another offensive, pushing deep into here, before we see the Florida nation send up soldiers, pushing them back all the way back to the border. Now this war has now met a stalemate, and no one knows what to do in this situation. But now we'll be seeing this Central American Colombia nation. They'll be aiding this Red American nation, and that aid will be enough to make them able to push through, capturing this major city and taking this as well, and also making another push up here and making one big unified front. And we'll just see the morale of the Florida nation just drop as we see them not even bother to fight anymore. As we just see this army just flood down, just claiming land. Most of the people here are welcoming them with open arms. Until we see something like this, where we see now these guys surrender, and now we'll take a look at a peace treaty. And this peace treaty will look something like this, where we see this nation, they will take all of this land, and we'll be seeing them also giving release to this nation, and Florida will remain as this, like the core provinces of the core land of Florida and these Caribbean islands. And yeah, now this is probably the strongest nation in North America, as they're probably the most populated, I would say. Maybe Disney, like they're number one in America, but if we take overall, like nation strength, they aren't. I wouldn't say they're in top 10, maybe like top 15. But after, if we take a power ranking in North and South America combined, these guys are number one. At number two, these guys. Number three would probably be this Mexican nation. Number four would be this nation. Number five would definitely be this brown nation. That is some and short, simple power ranking of North and South America. But now we'll be moving on from this continent and looking over at the Mediterranean Sea, mostly over here at the Turks. As in the Great European War, I think I call it, we saw these guys rise up once more, becoming very big, but they took this land, and if we take a look at the religion layer, it's in a whole fully different religion. This will end in something called a rebellion. So basically all of the Greek peninsula declared its independence, and Turkey doesn't even bother to get it back, as they didn't really never really wanted this land anyways. They were forced to get it forced to claim it by their Tunisians, as they needed just to wipe out the Greeks. But now the Greeks are back. Their major city will now be located here. But now, looking away from Turkey here, we'll be looking at another thing, and that thing is the Russian Union. They have been pretty active. They were a major player in the Great European War, and they have become a very strong nation. But now they will be doing something that the world will not like at all. They will be removing their capitals and placing their new capital in this city. And if you don't know what that city is, it's the old Russian Empire capital city. And they will officially declare themselves not as the Russian Union, but as the Russians, just as Russia. Basically saying that they are the real Russians. They are the successor. They are the remains of the Russian Empire. And this will basically cause a little bit of an alliance to form. Well, of course, it will split the Square Alliance, as they won't be kicked out, but we see some members leave it, as even Germany leaves, a Russian ally, and the Caucasian nation, and these guys leave, basically destroying the Square team's foothold in Eastern Europe. But the red team will just make the decision to kick them out as well, as they do not want a coalition to form against them. But now will be see the formation of the Arrow Alliance, holding Estonia, this nation, this nation, this nation, this nation, and this nation, and that's all their members. It's an anti-Russian alliance. They just do not. They are fine with this nation being as it is, and sure they can be the Russian Empire or whatever they want, but these guys won't let them expand at all. The reason Finland didn't join was because they know Russia don't want any more stuff from here. This border is an historical border that like signifies that the Russians basically they're stronger than Finland, and Finland is fine with that. They don't really care. But Estonia turning against Russia is a major thing, as Estonia has always seen themselves as like a part of Russia, but now after Russian Empire's collapse and all of that, they haven't been really feeling like uniting under the Russians anymore, and they're becoming more like self-standing, I guess you could say. They're not so fond of losing their independence just to join something greater than them. But now we'll be looking away from the alliance layer and over here at Norway. And yeah, Norway, they will be having to let go of some land. So we'll basically see this Danish nation being revived, and this is one of the oldest nations. Well, I'm not sure it's the same nation, as this is this is I think I'm going to officially say that the year at this video, the year is 19, no wait, World War I happened, I think I said the 1600s, 1500s, and I don't think we're so far away from that. Maybe like we're at, I would say we're maybe in the early 1800s now, in the early 1800s at least. But we'll see this nation have their capital over here, and yeah, they're back now. But looking away from them, we'll be looking over at this nation. They're really just there. No one cares about them or anything. They're not in any major alliances. They're not even in the UAE. And I will talk about UAE in a second here. But we'll be seeing them basically get invaded by France. Yep, France just are going to wipe them off now, off the map, capturing their only major city. And just moving up here, entering the yeah, this nation doesn't they're like the Iceland in our world. They don't really care about military. They're one of the most peaceful nations. So we see them surrender really quick, and this peace treaty will be even quicker, as we see them just be fully annexed by the French, and the French have basically restored a French empire now. But looking away from this new French Empire 2.0 thing, we'll be looking at the UAE, as I said. The UAE now, it is very popular, it's very big, it's probably the biggest it will ever be, but they will basically see it start to fall apart. As you basically see all of these guys just leave. They do not want anything to do with the UAE anymore. India, they left after the revolution they had. Florida, they have not left, but they are thinking of leaving. This nation is not in, and we'll basically see a lot of these nations just decide to leave as well. This nation will leave, and Rome will officially leave. Korea will be leaving, and this Middle Eastern nation will also leave. And this will basically mark the downfall of the UAE, as they're now starting to lose population. They're not as popular. The world doesn't really care about them. They're just there. They can't stop any wars or anything like that, so no one really notices them. But looking away, we'll be seeing another thing happen. And that thing that will be happening in Crete here. Crete is an island that was controlled by both the Turkish Empire and the Greek Empire, or Greek Empire, the Greeks. And now it's controlled by the Tunisians, and something really big that will change this series will be happening over here. And that thing will be like, what should I say, like 1,252 people dying in just seconds. You maybe wonder what can kill that many people in just seconds. Well, if we look here at these guys, they have created something revolutionary. No one ever thought they could create. But here we are. We see a nuclear bomb being added to them. Yep, they created 2 nuclear bombs, used one in Crete, killed a lot of people, but now they have one left. And this will start a new era of the series. Nuclear bombs in the early 1800s. This world is adapting fast and evolving fast. They are hyper smart and intelligent and are adapting really quick. And yeah, nuclear bombs in Tunisia. One of the only imperialist nations left, or one of the oldest imperialist nations, now have a nuclear bomb. This will basically just scare all of the European nations, especially Greece that just broke away from a Tunisian ally. This will also cause basically France and these two nations to get scared as they border the Tunisians. But yeah, this will basically cause the world to get very scared, and some nations even want to try to make their own nuclear bombs. But these bombs will be hard to develop. 2 nuclear bombs took 2 decades for Tunisia to create, and they seem to be very effective. I would say they're around the same strength as the bombs that were used in Japan in World War II. So they can do some damage if Tunisia can destroy a capital city if they wanted to. But anyways, these bombs are powerful, everyone is scared, big boom, and many people dead. But now we'll be looking at another thing, or the last thing in this video. And that will be over here in in this region over here. We'll be seeing 2 close nations go to war, that being this Indonesian nation and Australia. They will be going to war over one stupid thing, and that is this tiny island right here. We basically see an Australian politician get arrested here for breaking the law. Australia wants them to be freed, while Indonesia wants them to be sentenced to prison for breaking the law. So we'll basically see a war being broken out. And basically Australians just take this island by force alongside this island and make a landing here and here. And just free that politician and send him all the way back here. Really weird, but who cares, right? But this war, it will continue to rage on. This will be a major conflict, as both of these nations are basically same equipment and all of that. The only thing is that Australia has a slightly stronger navy than Indonesia. So we managed to do this before the Indonesian Navy will fight back, taking back this island and even making a landing over here. And that will be the end of this video. I hope you liked, and if you did, please like and subscribe. We're on the road to 150 subscribers by the end of the year. And yeah, that's all. Goodbye.